Alright, how we doing? It's episode 2 of So Totally Interesting, dude. If it's your first episode to listen, hey, how's it going? If it's your second episode listening, hey, how's it going? Glad to see you again. But yeah, I've got a few topics written down. Bit of a variation of style of topics. I've got a few different things to talk about this time. I was gonna say like this week or something, but it's been more than a week since I uploaded the first episode. How long's it been? Let's find out together. As of recording this one, it has been, excuse me, every time I go to record a podcast, my freaking throat just wants to die. So if you'll excuse me for a second, I'm going to turn away from the mic and clear my throat. Apologies for that. But yeah, it has currently been 2 weeks since I last uploaded one. So since the first episode came out, it's been 2 weeks as of recording this. So, it's not that bad. It's probably been about like 3 weeks since I recorded it, because I think I sat on it for like a week. Because I like recorded the first one, got it all ready, kind of sat on it, not really sure whether I was going to upload it, or I was going to do it, or it wasn't. I was kind of in the middle of should I, shouldn't I don't really know. And, obviously I did decide to, because it exists and you can go listen to it, which you should if you haven't. If you haven't checked out the first episode, check it out. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. If you have already checked it out, then thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you checking out what I'm doing. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put something on in the background, and I'm getting so many fucking YouTube ads, and it's pissing me off. You know what, I'm just gonna reload this page, but with ad block on, because fuck off adverts. YouTube adverts can fuck right off. And I apologise if at any point you hear strange sounds, but it's because it's really fucking windy where I live. Like, ridiculous. And it just keeps blowing around stuff, so if you hear like banging or something, that's just the wind smacking on the sides of windows and shit like that. It's annoying. I'm having to deal with it a lot louder. You guys probably can't even hear it, but it happened just before I started this point, and it's like, okay, if this is going to be a thing, I'm going to be annoyed. But hopefully it'll leave us alone. Hopefully we'll be all good. Right, I'll turn my phone onto silent, because I know if I didn't, I'll get some shit through. And it would annoy me, because there'd just be one random moment of my phone going off during the podcast. But no, turned it to silent within the first 3 minutes. I'm fucking great at this whole thing, dude. But anyway, how we been? Been doing good since the last one was uploaded. You've been having fun. You've been staying safe. I hope you've been drinking enough water and wearing your seatbelt. Just wear your seatbelt, remember that. There's not many pieces of advice I give people, but there's one piece of advice I'll give to everyone. Wear your seatbelt. It doesn't hurt. You'll never suffer from wearing a seatbelt, okay? Well, I'm not gonna say never, but you're very unlikely to suffer by wearing a seatbelt. Actually, going back to a point I mentioned, just a little bit ago, saying I was sitting on the podcast, the first episode, I was sitting on episode 1 like, should I, shouldn't I? And I've actually done that with a surprisingly large amount of videos. I currently have, I think, one video that was actually, when 21 Pilots released their album Trench, I recorded and edited a full review, which has never seen the light of day, and it's still sat there. I think I might even have it rendered out. I was so ready to upload it, and then just the last moment, I just completely bailed on it, and I don't know why. But like I was planning it, and I could still actually release that at a later date. I'm probably not going to though. If I was going to review that album, I would probably completely redo it, like rewrite the review, re-record, because I have to record this new review, completely edit the video anew, just because it would be so outdated what I've currently done. But that's something I've done many times, is just record something, and then just ditch it after it's been edited. I swear, my throat always is like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna die as you're trying to record something for a long time, because fuck you. That's just fun, isn't it? But yeah, no, actually, towards the end of last year / start of this year, I recorded a video of my top 15 albums of the year. That's never seen the light of day. I don't remember if I fully edited that one. I think I was definitely in the process of editing that one. Whether I actually got it fully edited, I can't remember off the top of my head. But I was definitely not far off getting it completely ready, and then again I just bailed on it. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Even though I liked my list, I made a good list of albums I thoroughly enjoyed throughout the year, and I just dropped it. So that's something that I do often, is just take things that I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna make this. I start to make it. I get so far through, and I just drop it completely, and I don't even, try and work it into something else and try and work around it. I'm just like, no, I'm not doing this anymore, and it's terrible. It is really bad to get in that mindset, because I'm there like, yeah, no, this is good. I like this until the very last stage. Like, I've had videos that I've set to upload, and I've like left them there uploading for like an hour, and then just completely close the tab and like, no, not happening. And I don't know why. I just often just get this feeling where it's like, no, I'm not gonna do that, and I can't really explain why. There's something that just prevents me from doing it, and I don't get it, but it's a thing that happens. So yeah, no, I've got like over the years, I've probably got a good 20 or so videos that either got scrapped after something happened. I've had like 1,000,001 video ideas that I've started to think about and then just completely scrapped before doing anything. But like, I've already had a good 20 plus video ideas that I've gotten somewhere with, whether it be writing like a script type thing, which most of my videos are unscripted, I'll be honest with you. And for you SoundCloud listeners, this is all about my YouTube channel. I don't know if I have any SoundCloud listeners, but I do upload this podcast on SoundCloud because, for people that just want to have it playing in the background, it's like, you don't have to, leave your phone unlocked on the YouTube app, whereas you can just put it on SoundCloud. You don't even have the SoundCloud app, you can just use SoundCloud's website. But yeah, no, SoundCloud link is in the description for your YouTube viewers if you would prefer to listen on SoundCloud, because it's just easier if you're on a phone. I often listen to stuff on SoundCloud when I'm on a phone, as long as it's not on Spotify, because I'm mainly a Spotify user, because I pay for Spotify. So, I'm not paying to not use the service. Albeit it's not much that I pay, but I'm not paying to not use the service. But yeah. Anyway, where was I before I got on the tangent of the fact that I uploads to SoundCloud? I was talking about how like 20 plus videos I've gotten somewhere with, whether it be scripting, just if it's one of my unscripted videos, which, as I say, most of mine are, because a lot of my videos, the style of them has to be unscripted, otherwise it just would feel so robotic. It's like, you take like my series where I'm just playing through a game. If any of that was scripted, it would just feel so robotic. And for those questioning, I know I haven't done a Life is Strange episode in months. Are they coming back? Yes. When? I can't tell you, because I don't know when I'm next going to get around to playing that game, but it has been stupidly long since I played the game, like, best part of a year, probably? Last time I played the game, 2nd of April 2018. It's currently the 12th of March 2019. It's stupid. I know, I'm terrible. I do apologise for that, but I will be getting back to that at some point. I just kind of got disengaged with the game for too long and kind of just lost it, but I know I need to just sit down, sit through it, play it 15-minute at a time chunks, and just make my way through it, which I will do. Then I still got a bunch of backlogged episodes for Minecraft, so that's fun. I have too many episodes worth that I kind of want to just get them all out, but I don't want to upload them all in bulk, so I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'll upload them one every other day for a week, and then have nothing for about 2 weeks. I'd like to like space them out, which I'm terrible at, spacing things right and putting a good amount of time between things, because it's like sometimes I'll go like 2 months without uploading, and sometimes I'll upload 3 times in a week, and it's stupid. Like I had my schedule where I was going to upload 3 times in a week, and I remember that schedule, and I wanted to stick to it, but I stuck to it for maybe a week, and then it all fell apart. Because I remember I had Life is Strange, Minecraft, and variety video going on, and the variety videos were always Clone Hero videos because I had nothing else to upload. But like I could try and get back into that schedule, but I just don't feel I have enough time anymore, which kind of sucks. Cause I'd love to get back into the schedule of like uploading 3-4 videos a week. Like I'd love to turn So Totally Interesting Dude into a weekly thing, but I just don't know if I can. And that's just due to my schedule being busy with like, assignments, like uni assignments and stuff, and just generally doing other things in life, I'd love to have all the time in the world to record videos and podcasts and all that shit, but I don't, unfortunately. Anyway, I have other things to talk about in this podcast as well, and it's been 11 minutes, and all I've done is the intro and one of my topics, and I was saying to myself, this might be a little bit of a shorter episode because I don't know if I have as many things. I definitely have as many things to talk about. I have more things listed here than I do for the last one, so this could be even longer possibly. Maybe not, because I think the topics I have now are less broad, and I can't talk about them as much, but there's more of them, so I'll find a balance. But right, yeah, one of my topics was unreleased videos, so that's that one ticked off, which I'll just mark with like 2 dashes or something. So the first thing I thought to speak about is something that relates to me as a player of Smite, and it's the Smite Pro Season 6 is starting again soon. As I say, when I've been saying it's the 12th of March as I'm recording this, that does mean 1:17 AM on the 12th of March, and I'm still awake from the 11th. That's just me. So, on the 11th, Smite Console League started again. Didn't watch any of it, because I don't care about the Console League. Gonna be honest with you. But as of March 12th, the Pro League, no, it's not Pro League, the Minor League starts again. So I'm kind of interested in that, just because there's some interesting looking teams in there. Like, I'll run through the teams, and some of the players I have no idea. But like, you've got Armada with Snoopy, Not Gino, Meerkat, Scream, and Baskin. That's a pretty solid team. I like the sound of that. You've got SSG Gold with Oswald, Matty Pocket, Chapo, Mask, and Uzzy Wuzzy. No idea who Uzzy Wuzzy is. Haven't heard of him before. I'm not so sure about Matty Pocket being the support. I don't know. He's a good support. I just don't know how well they'll do. You got Team Queso with Chikio, Draco Marino, Warchi, Worst Turtle, Julio, and Alpha Jackal in the coach role. That team doesn't have star power of names in it, at least. Maybe they'll be good, maybe they'll surprise us all, but in terms of names, they don't have much. Like, they've got Warchi as a big name. Alpha Jack was a great coach, so I'll give them that they do have a good coach on them, but I don't know overall. Flashpoint's got Kisfanify, Fusify, Farrakrick, Zoni. Is that DZONI? Isn't that like, I can't remember how that's pronounced. Johnny, I think, and Sibi. And I kind of like it. I like the dual lane of Kispanify and Fusify being together still, because they work well together, those two, as a dual lane. So I think they could do good in the dual lane. The rest, not sure. You got Sanguine with Netroid, Rongyu, Shinto, Panitom, Jarko, and Oxaldian as the coach. I don't really recogniise any of those names, I'll be honest with you. I don't know who these guys are. You got Simplicity with Streak Up, Genetics, Death Panther, Fails, and Maniac. That seems like a good team. Don't know who the hell Streak Up is. Never heard of the guy, but I know of Genetics, who's not a bad player. Death Panther's pretty good. Fails is pretty good. Maniac is a good player. So they've definitely got some power and simplicity. You got Team Cryptic with Benny Q, Mineral, Sops, Yuji Box, Zero, and iFates as a coach. I only really know Zero, so I can't comment too much on their team, but the one I was saving till last, the one I'm most excited for out of any of the SML teams, is Spudio, Emilito, Pretty Prime, Frostyak, and Dimmy. That being with Outcall Gaming that's the one I'm most excited to watch. That's the SML team for me. It's got my man's Emo. It's got Dimmy. Dimmy's back. I'm so happy. I love Dimmy. He's great. Got Pretty Prime in the mid lane. Frostyak in the jungle. Spudio is a good hunter as well. So I think Outcall Gaming do have a good chance in the SML, and I think they will be able to compete with the Pro League teams. Honestly, I think they're looking like the strongest out of the minor league teams. Maybe Armada, because, you know, Scream, Baskin, Snoopy are all good players, but I think Outcall Gaming have got the minor league. But when we get to the Pro League, if the Smite website is going to let me, okay, no. Let's see, who do we have? So we have Dignitas in the Pro League again. We got the hunter being Ataraxia, I like that, along with Trix Tank in the duo lane, Variety in the solo lane, Cuvo in the jungle, Horrywind in the mid. I think that's a solid team. I like that team. I like what Dignitas have got this season. E-United have Vedium in the hunter role, along with Carlos in the guardian role, Ice in the jungle, BMT in the mid lane, and Benji in the solo lane. Solid team, honestly. I think they have some strong names in there, and I think they could do some good stuff. The United, LG, they have Zalia, Kiki, Oceans, Mollusk, Joshi, and Gamma. You know, other than Zalia and Kiki, I don't feel like I'm too convinced by the team. Joshi's quite good, but I still think he's like Season 5 minor league level. But I think Zalia could prove himself here to be a star of a team in the solo lane. I don't know. Maybe I don't think LG have too strong of a roster. Got Renegades as well, who have Funballer, Cherio, Rafa, Dardes, and Nika. You see, I like all those players, and I think they're all good, but they're not top tier. I think like it feels too similar to what SK was in Season 5. Obviously, they got Rafa in the Guardian role, which is a difference. Cherio's going to play as Guardian jungles, because he always does. And I don't know, I've never been convinced by Cherio's Guardian jungles. I like them sometimes, but overall, not that convinced. I don't think Renegades have too much in them, just because I think they have good players, but not as good as the other teams. I think they're good, and they're definitely SPL level, but they're definitely the bottom tier of SPL, at least from how it looks. I've got SK Gaming with Zapman, Belair, Pool, Sam, and Nerima, which I think Nerima's my favourite there to do stuff. Maybe the Sam and Pool be doing good. I think they work together well. Pool in the mid lane, Sam for Soccer 2 in the jungle. I think those guys work well together. Zapman, I've never been quite convinced with Zapman. Maybe it's because I just don't like him as a person all that much. Sorry if you're listening, Zapman. You just, I don't know, something, I don't know what it is, but something strikes a nerve with me that makes me feel off about him. He might be the nicest guy ever if you meet him, but never met the fella, so I can't tell you. But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like this year's SK is definitely better than last year's SK, because I mean, anything is really, isn't it? SSG, they got Andinster, they still got Jeff and Barra together, that's all I wanted. Venenu and Aquarius, not was that even any change from how it is before? There's like almost no change there, so I think they'll just pretty much stay the same skill level they were last season. Splice got Divios, Aurora, Cyno, Cyclone Spin, Kabom, and Moswell. A decent team, not bad. You know, they got some good names in there. Don't think they're gonna really be fighting for a top spot though, but like sort of mid-table for the SPL. I think they can sit in there quite comfortably. Team Rival have Captain Twig, PBM, Fino-K, Pandacat, Arkle, and Slaney. Is it Slaney? Is that how it said? Slaney? I don't know. It looks decent. I don't know about how the duo lane's gonna work, really. I don't know if it's gonna... Just if the connection's gonna really be there for a duo lane. There is something stuck in my desk. I don't know what it is, and I apologize. I just realized... you know what? I'm not gonna figure it out. Yeah, I quite like Team Rival's roster. Not the best, not the worst. Kind of, again, similar to Splice. I feel like they're going to be probably like... I feel like Team Rival are going to be the higher end of mid-table. So, like, just above the top three. Just below the top three, sorry. So, like, 4th or 5th, I imagine. Trifecta, they have Eonic, Ducky, my boy Lasbra, Weekend, and Wowie. I just love Lasbra, man. Lasbra is so great. He's so entertaining. You know, I hope Trifecta win it for Lasbra. That's a joke. No, in all honesty, I don't think Trifecta have got a big name lineup. I don't think their team is that good compared to what other teams have. But I'm repping them for my boy Lasbra, just because Lasbra's a great lad. He's always good fun. Always memeing on Twitter. His Twitch streams are fun, so... Much love to Lasbra. And finally, we have Pittsburgh Knights. They have a great team. Okay, they have Zeros in the mid lane, Adapting in the jungle, Emilzy and Vote in the duo lane, and Deathwalker in the solo lane, along with Ro as the coach. That team, if they can pull it off together well, they are going to just be a force to be reckoned with. Because I think the connection that team can have, like, I think the biggest downfall that could happen, which is something I'm skeptical about, it's probably just the duo lane. I don't know how well Emilzy and Vote are going to work together, but if they can work together well, I think all the pieces could just... If all the pieces fit together with Pittsburgh Knights, they're going to be top. I just don't think anyone else can compete with... Like, if they're on form, I don't think anyone else will be able to compete with them. But, you know, we'll find out when it happens. I'm excited for it. I don't remember exactly the date of SPL starting. I know SML starting, obviously, March 12th. Can't remember the date of SPL starting, but I'll be watching it when it does start. And it should be entertaining. You know, I've been getting back into Smite recently, and it's just in time for this to start. But, I'm gonna be watching it. I'm gonna be supporting Pittsburgh Knights just because, you know, it's got Adapting, it's got Emilzy, it's got Ro in it. Like, half the team is ex-NRG players, and I just like that as well. I like the playstyle of Vote, Deathwalker, and Zeros, and I'm interested to see how it works. So I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a good season for Smite Season 6. I think the changes were weird. Not quite the best change they could have made, having to have everything NA, but you know, I think it's definitely gonna be interesting to see NA and EU players on the same teams. But yes, that's that done. What do I go on to next? I have so many options of things to talk about. You know, I'll just quickly talk about this because I don't have all too much to say on it, but Crystal Lake's new album, it's great. It's another fantastic album from Crystal Lake. I mean, what do you expect? This, like, if you're not listening to Crystal Lake, you are definitely missing out on a good band. They're just, I don't know, they're consistently good with all their albums, because they've released, I think, 3 albums now, if I'm not mistaken. including this newest one. I own one of their albums on physical copy. Don't own the newest one. It's, oh god, The Sign is the album. That's the name of the album I own. Really good album. First album of theirs I heard, and just from the start I was like, yeah, these guys are fucking sick. So yeah, their newest album, Helix, is just another solid release from them. It's definitely got their signature style to it, which I'm glad it doesn't feel overdone already, because they could definitely have just done the same album 3 times with that style and it'd still be good. But they're evolving it, but not so like it changes too much. Like, it's still that core style that you can hear from the first album through to this newest album. But each album is different and has a bunch of different songs on them that just none of the albums feel the same, which I like. They definitely have a very similar vibe to them, but they don't feel like the same thing rehashed, which some bands can do, where they find one style and then just do it, and it feels like each album just kind of feels like the same thing. And I'm glad that's not what they are. Yeah, no, it was just a quick thing to point out, just because I wanted to mention, you know, the new Crystal Lake album. I'll come back to music. I've got a bunch of things to do with music, but I'll come back to that in a bit, because I have something else I want to talk about, and that is a YouTube channel, actually. My new favourite YouTube channel, basically. I've binge watched this guy's videos a while back. He doesn't release videos very often, but I binge watched all of his videos a while back. Kind of forgot about him. Saw one of his videos a few weeks back, watched it, I was like, this guy's still got it. And then kind of forgot about him, just waiting for the next video, and then just for no reason went back. I think one of the videos was suggested to me, but I went back and watched a bunch of videos, and I haven't mentioned his name yet, but it's Captain Disillusion, this guy I'm talking about. Fantastic videos, and as someone who's like doing a VFX course, it's really interesting to see the way you like recreate shots, break stuff down. So like from an educational standpoint, it interests me, and from an entertainment standpoint, it's really good, because I'd love to talk to the guy who does it. His name's Alan, the guy behind Captain Disillusion. Sorry if I ruined the illusion for you. He has videos out of character. But I'd love to just talk to him about it, because I'm just so interested about how he's like kept this same character going for, I think, 11 years now? Or something like that. He's had this character going for so long, and he's been consistently so amazing at it. Like, from the first videos he made all the way through until his latest videos, they've all been just so good. He's just been consistently amazing, and he's like created a whole storyline, and this storyline's been going on for like 11 years. It's ridiculous what this man has done. It's fantastic. It's so interesting. And I was recently, I say recently, I mean as of earlier today, I was watching a couple of the talks he did. So I saw the one he did at QED 2016 and the one he did at Skepticon 2017. It's like the QED one was quite good, because he basically faked a Skype call sort of thing, where he was talking to the character of Captain Disillusion while he was just stood there being his normal self, being Alan, the Alan the intern, as he went by in the talk. And it was a good talk. It was just interesting to see like what he did. It kind of broke down the process of what he does and how he gets things done. I mean, there's definitely a lot more that goes into it than what he can fit in a 50-minute talk, because he was talking about a whole bunch of different things. But it was really interesting to see his talks. And then the one at Skepticon was quite good as well, where he like I don't remember. I think it was the Skepticon talk, because I watched them like back to back, so I'm like getting parts of talks confused. But it was like he basically got the audience to clap when they thought the video was real, and clap when it was fake, and then he would say, "This one's real, this one's fake." It was just interesting that like I was finding myself looking at these videos like, nah, that's fake, and then it was like, oh, that's real. It was like you showed the one which you may have seen of like the firework thing being set off, and it just spins up into the air and it just keeps spinning around in a spiral. I'm like, nah, that's gotta be fake. They can't do that. It's real. I think it was someone from like the Philippines that does it. It was interesting just to think that, oh, that was real. I just assumed that was CG and just not looked into it, because I know I could have like broken it down frame by frame and seen where I thought there was issues with it, but I just couldn't be bothered. I just kind of took it at face value, like, probably just a fake thing, but still looks pretty cool nonetheless. And it turns out it was actually real. But then I see things which, like, I know are clearly fake, and I just kind of like, wow, people actually bought this. Like, he went over. If you've not seen this video on the 2 lightning strike videos, go check it out. Just go check out Captain Disillusion if you haven't seen any of his videos. He is, I would say, puts the most effort into his content out of anyone that I've seen on YouTube, just because his content takes so long to make, because he's got to go through, he has to like properly do full-on visual effects, full-on animation, and everything. Like, he went through his process, and I think he goes through about 5 or 6 different pieces of software before finishing a video. So like, you'll cut it up in Avid, go do stuff in After Effects, do stuff in Blender, do other stuff with audio, and just do like a bunch of different pieces of software. I think he said, like, I can't remember, I think he said he uses Pro Tools to do his audio and stuff like that, which I would like to use Pro Tools, but unfortunately on a Windows PC, and Pro Tools is like a Mac thing, and I don't have any Apple computer. The only Apple device I have is my phone. Yes, I'm an iPhone user. Feel free to bully me, Android users, but your fucking cameras are trash. Fuck you. That's all I have against Android users. I choose iPhone because it's easy. But yeah, as I was saying, like, he goes through so much to make his videos. I mean, I'm a little against him because he uses Blender over C4D or Maya or 3ds Max, but who uses 3ds Max anymore? That's a joke, 3ds Max users. Don't get angry at me. But, you know, I've been raised on Maya, so I have an allegiance to it. So like, anyone that uses Blender, nah, get out of here with that trash. You know, you C4D guys, I'm cool with you. C4D is pretty cool. I mean, my first introduction to 3D software was actually doing some stuff in C4D, which I would probably look back at now and like, wow, that was so bad. But it was a very quick simulation that I did in C4D. I remember what I was doing. It was a simulation. I don't remember why I was trying to do this, but it was like a simulation thing of basically just dropping a plane on top of some text and the text shattering. It was such a simple simulation that I could probably whip out in about 10 minutes now, but it took me about 2.5 hours probably back then. Maybe not 2.5 hours, but like an hour and a half, 2 hours back then, just because I was new to it. And that shows signs of improvement, right? That I know I can quickly do things that used to take me a long time. That's always a good thing. But I can also like take a long time to do things that should be done quickly, because procrastination is a thing that I do, because just easy, isn't it? But like, I could never even dream of like making videos on the scale of Captain Disillusion, even though like I could definitely learn the editing parts of it and like the visual effects part of it, because I somewhat know After Effects. I know like how to cut up videos and just make like a loose pacing of video in like Vegas and Premiere. I mean, my videos, albeit very, very badly paced for what they are. I mean, some of my videos have to just have like one long take of a pace. But that's what I've kind of liked, this whole style that I've gone to of doing like stuff just in one sitting and uploading it in full, like with my gameplays and with this podcast. I quite like that, because it just gives me a different perspective on like how I'm recording. Because like, if I'm recording, let's say back when I was doing a lot of my gaming funny moments videos, when I was recording them, I knew that like what I was doing, I could just like say something about the game, make a comment on the game when something happens, sit there for 3 minutes in complete silence, make another comment on the game when something happens, and just find those comments and find the best ones, and you know, and then get a video out of it. But now with my more one take things where it's all just one continuous thing, where I'm like, what I record is what I upload, it's given me a new perspective, and I have to actively think about, you know, actually saying things and keeping it interesting, which has given me just a new challenge to do, which I've quite enjoyed. This new challenge, I think, you know what, this is quite good. And I definitely do like doing some videos in my old style where I edit everything, so like cut up all the audio, cut up all the video and everything, and just, you know, stick it back together. But I've just liked the new thing that I've been doing. I say new, I've been doing it for a while. But I don't think that, you know, I'm gonna finish off and quit doing fully edited videos, because I enjoy the editing process. I find it fun to just sit there and like watch what I've done, and like, especially with my funny moments videos, sitting there and watching what I've done, just cracking up at myself making jokes, is one of the most fun things. Like, if you've never recorded like funny moments videos, you don't understand how funny some jokes can still be the second time around. If you ever saw my video about the one TikTok video I've made, like the TikTok memes are golden and some good old Musically trash or whatever it was, the guy wearing the horse mask jump kicking his phone is probably the hardest I've laughed at something on multiple occasions. I can't even, possibly ever, because every time I watch that video, it always cracks me up. And I remember, like, when I was editing that video, I heard the recorded version of myself absolutely dying, and I had to take a break from editing, because I was laughing too hard with myself. Like, I literally had to take 5 minutes away, because I found it too funny to actually edit that part, because every time I'd try and get the clip, I would just burst into laughter, because it was just the funniest shit. I don't know why I found that one video so funny, but I thought it was the most hilarious shit there was. And so it's taken me so many tries to get that thing edited, because I think I've already watched it again another 10 times, just in absolute fits of laughter while editing. Just because it's like, what I'll do is like, I watched it once, completely lost it, and just kept on going back to that point and watching it over and over again until I just calmed my shit. And I didn't calm my shit until I took a full-on break. But like, doing stuff like that is one of the most fun things. Just that genuine enjoyment for being sat there editing a video, the longest part of it. It's great. But yeah, no, that was, as I was saying, Captain Disillusion, fantastic creator. I actually don't know why I brought him back up. I didn't really have much to say about it. I felt like I said everything I needed to. I just kind of like finishing off my points. So like, when I make a point that I have written down, I like to finish it off by going back to it and making a closing statement. But yeah, no, as I was saying, Captain Disillusion, fantastic creator. Go check him out if you've not seen any of his videos. Probably one of the best creators on YouTube of all time, just because of the fact he's kept this same character running for 11 years and consistently stuck with the themes, like, he's fully created a character and he's completely held to it. He's stuck to that character for over a decade now. It is just incredible that he's managed to do that. Like, that is one of the most long-running, consistently interesting characters of any media I've ever seen. There's few characters that have been around on shows that have been going on for 11 years that I found consistently interesting, whereas, you know, Captain Disillusion has been interesting. Admittedly, I only found him about like a year or so ago, maybe a bit more, but I found him interesting throughout that whole time. And I've watched his backlog of videos, found them all so interesting, and like, I've watched so much of his stuff. I've watched, I think, almost every video now. I still have one of his talks to go, which I haven't watched. I don't remember which one it is. There's still one I haven't watched, and I still got a few, like, very much older videos from like 7-8 years ago, which I haven't yet watched. But I'll get round to it, and every time I release a new video, I'll watch that as well. But yeah, no, genuinely one of my favourite content creators on the entirety of YouTube. One of the most talented creators on YouTube, and just all round seems like a pretty cool guy from what I can gather. Alright, you know what, I want to touch on something because it hit me very close to my heart in the best way humanly possible. I just want to talk about that Man United win against PSG. in the Champions League. I just have to say it. I don't think I've ever been happier in my life than when Marcus Rashford scored that penalty. Genuinely, I think my life peaked at that point. I didn't realise how loud I could shout until I cheered that, because it was just a madness. Like, I remember that was like 89th minute, and we thought, nah, this is it. It's dire. And then that heavily debated penalty, which I'm so glad it did get given as a penalty, that heavily debated penalty from the handball from Kimpembe was given. Marcus Rashford stepped up. You do not understand how nervous I was when he was stepping up. You know, I could barely watch, but I watched that penalty being taken, and when it went in, oh, it was the most amazing feeling. It was just something else. I was on a different level, you know. And I mean, history was made. No team had ever made a comeback from being 2-0 down in the first leg of the Champions League to go on and win it. But it's been done. History's been made. And oh boy, was it made in style. I'm so happy about that. We don't have to talk about the most recent result against Arsenal. That's bullshit. Who fucking cares about that? They lost to fucking Farmers. Not Farmers, but they lost to, 8th in the French league. So, suck that. And who's in the FA Cup still? Fucking eat my ass, Arsenal. That's a joke. I'm gonna have angry Arsenal fans. I'm not. I was gonna say I'm gonna have angry Arsenal fans in the comments. I'm not, because they don't care enough. None of them are gonna sit 41 minutes through just to hear me shit talk Arsenal for a few seconds. Because, I mean, if you honestly sit through 40 odd minutes or something to just get angry at someone shit talking something for a couple minutes, then guess her life, mate. If you sit through 40 odd minutes or something because you enjoy it, that's freaking sick. I hope everyone enjoys this podcast. I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun making it. Hopefully you people have a lot of fun listening to it. Whether you just listen to it in the background while you're doing other stuff, whether you listen to it while, walking on your way to school, work, whatever it may be. Anytime you want to listen, man, that's cool by me. Is if you enjoy it, that makes me happy. But that's that for that game. I could go into like a full breakdown of that football game, but I just can't be bothered. I've done it, was talking to people about it, and it's so good. So good. I don't want to ramble on about it, because I know if I started, I wouldn't be able to stop myself, because I would just be on a different level. I still haven't calmed down from it. I still haven't lost that buzz, and it's been, I don't even remember how many days, but I've not lost that buzz. Right, the rest of my topics are all music related, which is fun. The first one was just a quick thing to touch on, which is, dude, how fucking sweet is the album Discovery by Daft Punk? Okay, that album is so good. I feel like I've talked about this before. I might have. I'm not sure. But dude, it is such a good album. Like, definitely my favourite electronic album of all time. Like, there's no other albums that really compete to me. Like, from cover to cover, that album is just so interesting, got so much variety in it, but every song is recognisable as a Daft Punk song. It's a great album. Like, if you've never sat and just in one sitting listened cover to cover of Discovery, do it. And listen to Homework cover to cover while you're at it. Because, that was their debut album, and everyone's like, wait, these guys are fucking sick. There's something, they're onto something here. Then they released Discovery, and it's like, now these guys are definitely fucking sick. Their albums after that, not bad at all. They've released some really solid albums. Haven't released an album in forever. So, why do I feel like I've talked about this before? This all feels so familiar to have talked about, and I don't know whether that's just me chatting shit about it all the time to people, or I've talked about it on this channel. If I have, I'm sorry. If I haven't, cool. But I definitely feel like I have talked about it before. But anyway, the next thing I want to talk about music related is I just want to I don't have much to say about it. I could also say like a lot about it, but it's just sort of weird music. And like the one genre that stands out to me in particularly weird music is got to be noise music. Because if you've ever listened to like noise music, it's basically the opposite of what you think music is. It's basically anti-music, and I think it has been nicknamed that. But like, listen to an album like Post Demon by Merzbow, which is like the only noise album I've ever properly given a listen to, because I can't be bothered with listening to any more. It hurts enough to listen to just one. But like, it's just, I don't get it, but also I love it because I don't get it. Like, that's what intrigues me about it, is how little I understand about it makes me interested. Like, okay, I don't understand this, but that makes me want to listen to it more and get involved with it more. And like, even just like weird music in general, it's like the artist Ankle Pants, weirdest fucking character I've ever seen for a music project, but it's just fascinating. Like, this like alien looking dude with a dick nose. When I say with a dick nose, that's not me making an exaggeration. Genuinely, the nose looks like a dick and is meant to be a dick. Like, the guy behind it didn't accidentally create a phallic shaped nose. He full on went to just like, nah, instead of a nose, penis. Fucking weird, but sick. Nothing in talking shit about the guy saying, you know, it's a bit strange that you create phallic noses. Like, not even phallic noses, you just create dick noses for your character. You know, bit peculiar. Interesting as hell though. You know, I don't remember how I found out about Angry Birds. I think I saw someone do a video on it, like a commentary channel for like, when it's a music commentary thing, I'm guessing like Bionic Pig probably. Is how I found out about Angry Pants. Probably, I think it probably was him. But I've just been fascinated ever since, and I'm just like, you know what? This guy is just so interesting. Just because it's so weird. You know, actually, let's see if I can figure out where I found out about him from, because I assume it's probably a video, and luckily I've got, you know, YouTube just right here, ready to go. Can I find a video? I can't. I just typed in ankle pants and I can't find a commentary video. But if I, you know, if I just like, I'll quickly check Bionic Pig's channel, see if I can find, you know, anything. I'll just be like weird musician or something like that. If I can't find anything off of that, then I'll forget about it and move on. If it would like to load, weird musician, something like that will come up. The strangest musician, ankle pants. Yeah, it was a fuck you internet. That's where I found out about it. But yeah, no, it's just interesting to me that he like created this character. Can't say I listen to Ankle Pants music all that much, just because I don't know, just his style of music just isn't really for me. But I can still appreciate it. On a different note, something that definitely is for me is the new track by Future Cop and Parallels, the song "This Moment Forever." That song I love it. There's something about that track that I just love so much, and I've been listening to it a lot since its release. I only heard it about a week ago, which was still a good 4 or 5 days after its release, because it was released on the 1st of March, and I heard it probably the 5th, I'm guessing. Either the 5th or maybe the 6th, somewhere between the 4th and the 6th I first heard it. And I've listened to it over and over since, because it's just a great track. Like, I hadn't really listened to much of either Future Cop or Parallels. The most I've listened to of Future Cop is the remix of Son Is Mine Césaire did, which is just a really interesting remix, because it like completely changes the vibe of the original song, from like a sort of slower, darker song to this really fast, upbeat sounding song, which is it's just interesting. Really good mix. I haven't listened to much of Césaire's stuff recently. I did like sit there and listen to a bunch in one sitting, but Haven't listened to much in a little while. But you know, I'd definitely check out the new track by Future Cop and Parallels. I think it's just a cool track. Got a very, I don't know how to explain the vibe, but it's like, it gives you that vibe that sort of like synthwave stuff does, where it's almost a nostalgic vibe, even though like the whole basis of synthwave is very much an 80s thing. And you know, I can't really be nostalgic about the 80s, seeing as I wasn't born until right at the end of the 90s. So, you know, it was like, there was a solid 19 years before my conception and the start of the 80s. So, like, 1980, it's when the 80s started. 19 years later, then I came around. You know, so it's not exactly like I was there for any of it. You know? Close I was, 10 years off, basically. I was 10 years off being around in the 80s, and that would have only been 1989 I would have been around. So, can't really be nostalgic for the 80s, seeing as I didn't live in them. But, like, the thing is, that track still provokes some sense of nostalgia to a time that I almost don't think I lived. To, like, a fantasy... Okay, it's weird. I have a weird thing about it, but, like, this is going to sound so strange, and I'm probably going to explain it horrendously, because it's very much an experiential thing. Is that a word? Experiential, like, something you had to experience to understand is what I'm trying to get at. I don't know if experiential is the right word. I don't know if it's even a word. But, like, basically, I don't want to say I have visions, but, like, I have mental images of places I've completely dreamed out, like, completely fictional places just based off probably, like, artwork I've seen and stuff. And it, like listening to songs like This Moment Forever, it sort of takes me to the visual image of that place, which, like, most of the places are very, like, environmentally based. Like, one place that it doesn't exist. There's, like, I can't find any artwork of it or any pictures of anything like it, but it's, like, basically a huge ass fucking field, like a yellow field, not a wheat field because wheat's too high, but, like, yellow grass, and then just right in the very distance is just, like, some futuristic city. I don't know why, but I can picture it perfectly in my head. Can't make it a piece of art because I can't draw for shit. There's no piece of art I can find where it's made me think that's where I've seen it from. It just kind of exists as an image in my head. And it's the weirdest thing, because I've been seeing this, like, mental image for years now, probably a good 5-6 years, and it just keeps popping up, and, like, all that time I haven't forgotten it. I don't know why, don't know where it came from, but, like, it's something that's been stuck in my head for the longest time as a visual image, as, like, a mental image. And, like, listening to tracks like This Moment Forever really, like, takes me to that visual image. So, like, when I hear it, I see that image in my head. And maybe that's what I love so much about it, is, like, the nostalgia of remembering this mental image that I've had since, you know, 2012, 2013 maybe? I'd say probably close to, like, 2013. And it's like, think about all that's changed since then, because I've done a lot of shit since 2013. I've done a lot of growing as a person. That's been a long time, you know? I'm a very different person to who I was in 2013. Thank God, because, oh my god, 2013 me was probably annoying as fuck. I don't remember, but I'm definitely going to say that 2013 me was annoying as fuck. Because, you know, being 14 and all that, no one's cool at 14. Let's be honest. Everyone looks back at themselves as a 14-year-old and is like, wow, I was fucking embarrassing. We just all do. Just a fact of life. But, yeah, no, like, that kind of brings me on to the whole topic of synthwave. You know, I link shit together in this pod, man. You know, don't say I don't get shit done. Don't say I don't get through topics, because, you know, I link two topics together just like that. You know, you didn't even realise that transition was coming until I spent a few minutes talking about the fact that I just made the transition. But, you know, like, synthwave music is just something I've been enjoying for, like, a while, since I started listening to it. I started listening to it when I heard a gunship song, which was Artemis and Parzival, the one based on Ready Player One. That's that's when I first sort of got into synthwave off of that song. I was like, yo, this song's fucking sick. I gotta check this out. And then I did, and then I fell down the rabbit hole of, wait, I fucking love this genre. This genre is so cool. And then it kind of got me interested in the whole like retrofuturism imagery, and sort of like, I mean, like, I'd always been a fan of that sort of imagery. I just didn't realize how much until I got into that sort of music where it's very much a prominent thing. It's like all that Blade Runner-esque imagery. So like, if you think like Blade Runner, that's the sort of visual style I really like to see. So like, if you ever watched the first Blade Runner movie, and if you haven't, dude, you've got to watch it. It's a fantastic film, one of my favorite films of all time. You know, I've watched. I went to like, there's this. I don't even know what it is, really, but I went out to this like, with some family friends. Went out to this cinema club thing. I don't know how to describe it. To watch the director's cut of Blade Runner. Oh my god, it was amazing. You know, watching the director's cut of Blade Runner on a big screen, it was so cool. It was so enjoyable. And that was like when I first properly got introduced to like Blade Runner, because I hadn't seen it before. I saw the director's cut first. I have seen the just the regular cut as well. Definitely watch the director's cut if you can. It does add more depth to it, as a lot of director's cuts do. And of course, I went to the cinema to see 2049 because, you know, it's a Blade Runner film and it stars Ryan Gosling. What more could I ask for? You know, Blade Runner and Ryan Gosling. Is there any better combination in life? You know, I fucking love Blade Runner. I fucking love Ryan Gosling. So, you know, just is perfect, really, isn't it? But yeah, no, as I was saying, like, the whole imagery around Blade Runner is just, I love it. I love that visual style. And all that sort of very much neon styles, and that's like what's really prevalent in the whole synthwave genre, is like very much neon stuff, very, very 80s, and I love the 80s aesthetic. It's just so cool to me. Like, I sort of first came across it when I was into like vaporwave stuff and not really knowing about synthwave, but I like some of the vaporwave stuff. You got your artists like Macintosh and some Pepsi and all those sorts of artists, where it had like, it sort of had that 80s vibe, but it spliced a lot of 90s stuff in there as well. So like, that was sort of a vibe I like, because like, if you look at like, Saint Pepsi's quite a good example. Like, you see a lot of fan videos for his stuff, and a decent amount of that footage is like 90s footage that you see, because you always see them use like old school adverts and just general footage, and like, which is cool because I like that stuff. It's just interesting to see how times have changed. But I feel like a lot more of the vaporwave stuff is sort of mixed between 80s and like 90s. Admittedly, like the sort of 80s inspired 90s stuff, but there's definitely like 90s elements in there. Whereas I think like synthwave as a thing is definitely more 80s orientated for the, you know, style of it. I just really like that. I mean, I like them both. I still listen to a bit of vaporwave every now and then. I listen to a decent amount of synthwave still, so listen to a lot of Gunship because it's Gunship. They're just so good. I mean, their vocalist Alex Westaway, fantastic voice. I love his voice. He's just got such a cool voice, and whether that be through his work in Fightstar or his work in Gunship, I love it both. There's one Fightstar song, I can't remember, I've got two names in my mind, but it's either More Human Than Human or Murder Overall or Murder After All. I can't remember the exact name of the song, where like it's just him on vocals, and dude, it's so good. Like, because I didn't really listen to Fightstar before I found out just about like Gunship and like the vocals of Gunship was also in Fightstar, because after like Busted did their initial split, I didn't listen to like any of their bands other than the song Ticket Out of Loserville by Son of Dork, which was one of the members' next band. That was, I only ever listened to that one song. I did listen to a couple of their like solo things. I think like Matt Willis, he did a cover of the song Crash. I can't remember who the original was, but that was the one that featured in the Mr. Bean movie. So I've listened to that song a bunch just because it featured in the Mr. Bean movie. It was in Mr. Bean's Holiday, and dude, I've watched that film a stupidly large amount of times for a film that's not even that great. It's decent, not the best, but I've watched it so many times, like a good 7 times probably, maybe. Okay, maybe not 7, but like 5 or 6 probably. I'd say let's go with 5. I think I probably watched that movie 5 times since it came out. When did it even come out? I don't know. This podcast is running over an hour, but we're gonna figure this out. Mr. Bean's Holiday. Let's see. 2007. So 12 years ago it came out. You know what? I think it is severely underrated. IMDb giving it a 6.4. Rotten Tomatoes a 52%. Shout out to Amazon UK giving it a 4.5 out of 5. The correct rating. No, I know it's not that good of a film, but it's still enjoyable to me. Wait, is it on Netflix? Is it actually? I'm about to get really excited. It's saying it's like, oh my god, it is? Oh, that's amazing. I might have to watch that movie again now. It's really excited me that it's on Netflix. That's made me happy. At least there's something that I know will brighten my day if I need to. Just an hour and a half of a Mr. Bean movie. But yeah, anyway. As I was saying initially from that point, before I got sidetracked on a tangent, which is why I started doing a podcast, because I just get on 1,000,001 tangents, and I can't control them. You know what's fun for running on tangents? Podcasts. That's not the only reason I started this, I want to clarify. There's a few different reasons. Before I got on a tangent about tangents, and before the tangent before that, don't know what I'm saying, I was talking about Gunship, and synthwave and all that stuff, because it's cool. It's just a really cool aesthetic. Like, I'm basing some of the stuff I'm doing for uni off of that aesthetic, just because I find it interesting and I'm finding it enjoyable to create stuff of that style. So like when I'm lighting stuff, I just give it the lights like a sort of red and very like bright tint. Like red's a very used color, red, blue, pink, very frequently used in this style of like visuals, and I like that a lot. And so like I just, you know, I'm just trying to make stuff happen with it just because it's cool to me. But yeah, that nicely wraps up all of the things I wanted to talk about, and we're over the hour mark, so you know, always a good sign when I try to make this somewhere around the hour mark is my plan. Currently an hour 3 minutes, probably gonna run to like a bit over an hour and 4 with the outro and everything. But that's like a good amount of time for it. Somewhere like from like 50 minutes to an hour and 10 is where I try and aim for. So whether it's a bit under an hour or a bit over an hour by 10 minutes, give or take, I'm cool with that. But as if it was like too extreme either of the other ways, where it was like way under an hour or way over, then I'll kind of question it. Yes, thank you for listening all the way through this second episode of this. I hope you did enjoy as much as I enjoyed just talking about some random stuff for an hour. If you did, then if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're on SoundCloud, follow the account. If you're on SoundCloud, check out my YouTube. If you're on YouTube, then I mean, you don't have to check out the SoundCloud for this, because you're just gonna listen to the same podcast with nothing added again. So, you know. But if you want to listen to it on SoundCloud, feel free. I find it easier, which is why I upload it to there. The only reason I really upload it to both is because, some people, like, I want to get it to my YouTube audience because I have a following there, but some people prefer to listen on SoundCloud, or just something that they can, stick their phone in their pocket with it locked, or do something else on their phone while listening. So I just thought, the best way to do that is SoundCloud, because I'm not gonna apply to get this on iTunes or Spotify, because unless this podcast gets big, I'm not gonna even consider that. I'll do it as a low-key thing on Spotify, not Spotify, on SoundCloud and YouTube. Can't even say the platforms I'm on. Sorry, I just dropped something on the floor, and that's why I'm sounding confused, because something just fell out my hand. I don't know where it went. You know what? Not for me to deal with right now, for me to deal with after the episode. But again, thank you for listening. If you did enjoy, check out my social medias. I got Twitter, I've got a Discord server. That's all I have. I don't use anything else other than those. But yeah, no, if you want to talk about the podcast, drop me a tweet, drop me a message in my Discord server, just whatever it feels like, whatever you feel like with that. So I will catch you guys in the next episode of this. Until then, enjoy yourself, stay safe, always wear your seatbelt, and lastly, and always, as I always do, peace.